Howdy, folks. I'm Brian.
I'm Amber.
No, you're not. You're an Amber clone.
Am I now?
Yeah. And here's some Reddit. So, Amber clone, how's it going? She's not going to answer because she refuses to answer to Amber clone. All right. Clone of Amber. No.
I'm not a clone.
You're not a clone?
I'm the real deal.
You're the real deal? Our first story is titled, Am I a Jerk for Making My Wife Choose Between Me and Her Best Friend? I'm a 36-year-old male and I'm preparing for my upcoming surgery at the end of May. I have a respiratory condition that I've been suffering from, and my wife has been very supportive and accommodating of my needs. She has endured so much by shouldering this burden with me, and I can never describe how supportive she's been with everything that has been going on with me. The problem is that her best friend's wedding is at the end of May, specifically on the 27th, and my surgery takes place on the exact same date. Now, the 27th was not the original date of her friend's wedding. It was supposed to be on May 18th, but it got changed. Her friend has informed us about it on short notice, and my wife wanted to go, but it's an 8-hour trip since the wedding will be held in the groom's hometown. My wife and I discussed this, and I bluntly told her that I needed her there for my surgery. She told me that it's her best friend, and this will hopefully be her only wedding, and she wanted to attend. She even asked if I could get a friend as my support, but I just didn't think it was right that I was even puzzled that she asked me to get a substitute while she goes to her friend's wedding. I asked if her friend's wedding was more important than my health. She argued that there was nothing wrong with it and that I won't need her since the medical team will take care of me. Then she said that by refusing, I was making her choose between me and her best friend. We went back and forth on this argument, and she insisted that she wanted to attend her friend's wedding. I told her that she was being unreasonable, and I never expected her to prioritize a wedding over my health. She loudly yelled, "What do you want me to do? I might lose my friend over this." Then she stopped talking to me. I think I handled this badly and acted in an ungrateful manner, but I think she's the one who doesn't understand the difference since my surgery is an emergency, and if her best friend is a good friend, then she'd understand, right? So, am I wrong for what I said? So what do you think of this one, kiddo?
This one is a tricky one. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think OP is in the wrong here at all. Like if I needed a surgery and you had a wedding to attend, I would definitely want you to be the one there by my side. Even if I was going to be out for the procedure, like knowing you're in the hospital there with me would be important to me.
Yeah, well, I think from my perspective, I probably would miss a wedding for something like this. And I mean, it's not, even if it had been like a planned wedding planned for a long time, and then suddenly some medical thing came up, like someone I knew needed a medical procedure and I needed to be there for them, I think that I would probably, send my regards to the wedding and say, well, I'm sorry, this is an emergency situation and I just can't attend. So I don't think that's an unreasonable ask here.
Right, and the thing is, OP is absolutely right in that if this person is really a good friend, they shouldn't be upset that someone's like, it's frustrating if someone has to miss your wedding, like, and especially if it's someone you really want to have there.
Yeah.
But if they're close enough and important enough to you, you can understand that, oh, I have to be with my husband for his emergency surgery is like a pretty legit thing.
Yeah.
So if the wife is really worried about losing this friendship, it's probably not as good of a friendship as she thinks it is.
Yeah, well, her friend could also be really frustrated and under a lot of stress right now because, like, she's had to probably move it once because of certain reasons going on in the world.
Yes.
And now she's going to, not be able to have her friend there. And I can't imagine, that stress, I imagine, is going to be really hard on her friend, who probably, in part rescheduled this so that other people could be there. And I don't know. It just seems like it's not a good situation. And I can understand why the wife would want to go to the wedding. But on the other hand, her husband does need her support there too. So, I don't know. I think it's difficult. Like, part of the, wedding vows are that you're going to be there for somebody in sickness and health. And, I think that it would be difficult to justify going to this wedding if you thought there was a chance that, like, that he might not survive, or he might have some other major issue come up while they were there, and that she might need to be there to make some important medical decisions. So I can definitely see why he would want her there. So, yeah.
Our next story is, am I the jerk for using hot sauce like an idiot? I love hot sauce. My favorite is Tabasco, but I just freaking love all hot sauce. For years, I've carried a mini bottle of Tabasco in my purse and some emergency mini packets in my wallet. I don't pull it out at restaurants because it's in poor taste in my culture, and most restaurants don't even allow it. It's mostly for takeout, eaten on the go, or for when I go to spice-intolerant close friends' houses. I'm also weird in that I don't put it all over my food or mix it in. I'll put a few drops or a squirt on individual bites of food, because I like to alternate between spicy and regular bites. When I'm out at a restaurant, I tend to hog the bottle of hot sauce, so I normally ask for 2 bottles so that the other people that enjoy hot sauce aren't inconvenienced. With that background info out of the way, here's what happened. Pandemic restrictions have loosened, so my husband and some friends of ours went to a restaurant with outdoor dining to get some drinks and dinner. One of our friends brought her new boyfriend, Jim, that none of us have met before, and honestly, he seemed off from the start. He openly ogled myself and the other women in the group. He made a joke about how people with Down syndrome are a drain to society after a friend updated us on how her daughter with Down syndrome was doing, and
Yikes.
Yeah, and he constantly talked down my friend. When our food arrived, I asked for a second bottle of hot sauce and began to do my thing with it. When he saw what I was doing, Jim gave me the dirtiest look and then asked why I was using hot sauce like an idiot. I briefly explained to him why, and then he turned to my friend, who's his girlfriend, and told her, "You didn't tell me OP was a effing R word."
Wow. Oh my goodness, this guy.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw red. I told him off about everything wrong he'd done throughout our get-together, and that anywhere he was, I would no longer be because he was so disgusting and disrespectful. I then flagged down our waiter, got a to-go box for my hardly touched meal, paid my husband's and I's tab, then walked out. I just couldn't be around someone like him.
Really? Why not? I don't know if we actually need to read the rest of this.
Later, I got a text from my friend telling me I humiliated her and that all of our friends followed suit and left because they couldn't stand him either, as well as told her that they refused to be around him. She told me that I alienated her and made everyone hate her. I feel like a total jerk now because I didn't mean to hurt her. I just wanted to get away from her awful boyfriend before I caused even bigger a scene. She is now begging everyone to give him a second chance, and none of us will, so she's been cursing us out and calling all of us heartless jerks. So am I the jerk for this?
Why would she want to give him a second chance?
I know, it's like...
He just called one of your friends, a slur, and...
and said another one's daughter is a drain on society.
Yeah, and said another one's daughter is a drain on society, and probably said and did other things too that we aren't even hearing about. He just seems like
ogled all your friends.
Yeah, ogled all your friends. He has no manners, and I don't know why she even want to be with him at this point in time.
Right, like this should have been the point where the friend is like, "Oh my gosh, what have I gotten into?"
And this should have been a big red flag. Like, there's many, many red flags around here. They're scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
There was a large blast, and it left behind many red flags.
Yeah, so I think OP is completely in the right here with what she said. He was just being so awful. He deserved to be chewed out for it, and she doesn't have to sit there and just listen to him, keep insulting her and everyone else all night.
Yeah. Well, on the flip side, put yourself in this guy's shoes. He's in a brand new group of people that you've never met. He's a complete monster. And, he has to demonstrate how monstrous of a person he is. And, like, that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. Like, if you're a complete, garbage human being, and you really want to demonstrate to people how much of a garbage human being you are, what better way than to call one of your friends, a slur, and, call another person's family member a drain on society? Like, that gets the point across. Like, they know. Bam, you're right there. You are, they know where you stand now. And I mean, yeah, it accomplishes the goal. So,
In the kind of in the comments, OP mentions that like everyone, she wasn't the only one to say things. Like the other friends called him out too at different points too. Yeah. But the kind of like frustrating thing here too is the girlfriend didn't say anything. Like she's just sitting there while he calls her friends slurs and drains on society, and she's not doing anything. She just expects people to sit there and say nothing while he insults them.
I don't know. Like, if I were dating Jim, I would have dumped a glass of water over his head and left.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done the water bit, but I would not. I would have like not have been with him anymore.
Yeah, I mean, maybe dumping a glass of water over his head would have been a bit extreme, but I mean,
I'm not saying he wouldn't deserve it. I'm just saying that that's not how I am.
Yeah, I just don't know how anyone would want to be around someone like that. Hopefully, Jim doesn't really exist.
Unfortunately, there are Jims in this world just like that.
All right. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to change the meal that I'm making for my friend's dietary requirements? Backstory, 3 weeks ago, I asked my friend if he wanted to make plans to come over and I'll cook. I wanted to try out some new recipes, so I gave him 4 meals to pick from. I knew that he would like the sound of all of them. He picked one and made plans for this Friday. On Monday, I messaged to check if we were still on and told him I was getting everything for the meal delivered on Wednesday, today. He said yes, and was still happy with the meal, and would see me on Friday. Fast forward to this morning, he messaged me saying that he was on a health kick, and that now the meal is too high in fat and calories for him. I told him I'd already ordered and paid for the groceries, and if he had told me on Monday, I would have changed it. I'm making everything from scratch, and it cost me around £50 for everything needed. I told him he's a jerk, and he's just wasted my money and time, and not to bother coming over on Friday. He still wanted me to come and make him something else that fits his diet better. He was already on his health kick when we made the plans, so he could have decided then. He told me I was being a jerk for not caring about his needs or supporting him in his health kick. So, am I a jerk for refusing to change what I'm making last minute when I've already bought all the ingredients and gave him plenty of time to tell me?
Not the jerk.
Well, why do you say that? I mean, this seems like a really reasonable thing. Like, if somebody, makes last minute plans to change their meal, I mean, doesn't that seem reasonable, Amber?
Yeah, no. Like, the thing is, the friend had ample opportunities.
Yeah,
he could have expressed something when OP gave him the meal choices and said, none of these work for me. He could have said something on Monday, oh, hey, I'm getting really serious about my diet.
Yeah.
Could you maybe change things up? He waited until he knew OP was going to place the...
Well, I'd already placed the order at this point in time. It just was like, oh, I called you up last minute to let you know, hey, I'm on a diet kick again, and I'm not going to eat your meal that you've planned out for so long. OP, invite someone else over.
Yeah, if you have another friend who would like this meal, just feed them instead.
Just feed a different person this meal and have a better time with someone else. And, I can't blame OP for uninviting their friend. I use this loosely because, they had every opportunity to warn OP about the change in their, restrictions in diet. This wasn't something that just happened overnight. I mean, well, it might have happened overnight, but I mean, this isn't OP's fault that it happened overnight. And
and according to OP, he was already on the health kick
Yeah.
when they made these plans. So he just like intensified it all of a sudden.
yeah, and why? Why did he do this when he knew that OP had already spent all this time and money doing this? So I would have a really hard time faulting OP in this situation. I think the friend needs to get their act together and not lead people on.
Yeah, well, and like the audacity to expect OP after they've already bought all these groceries to be like, oh, well, I want to come over and have you make food for me, but it has to fit my diet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was a bit unreasonable. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. Oh, and if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. And happy Friday, Junior.
Yes, happy Friday, Junior.
For once, it's been a couple weeks since we wished people a happy Friday, Junior. So happy Friday, Junior. Hopefully you've had a good one. Hopefully tomorrow is even better for you. And the next day is Saturday after that. So hopefully you have a good weekend. I don't know. Now I'm wishing everyone a happy every day of the week. Happy every day of the week. Hopefully your whole week went well. So yeah, I paused in the middle of my sentence because I was like, I can't forget this. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and yeah, I guess we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
It's backwards day. You have to say bye backwards.
Yob.
Yob. It's not backwards day.
It's opposite day. You gotta say hello.
Hello.
I then flagged down our winner. Got a tubo.
Tubo. You got a tubo. Wah,
Large.
wah, 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 wah.